Well, back in studio, we are thrilled today to have nationally recognized artist, curator, teacher, writer, speaker. I mentioned this before. You've got so many incredible things and adjectives attached to your name. Xiomaro Art Studio. The man behind it is Xiomaro, and I'm told I can call you Xio, correct?
Yes, you can.
Now, what haven't you done? I think that would be a shorter interview, because this man, travel, you express yourself, you create just a connection between art and nature and people and wonder. And tell me all about yourself.
Well, I started as a musician. Then I went into entertainment law. Also, I'm a lawyer.
Right.
But then there was a major change in 2004 when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Right.
And then that triggered a change into a career in photography. And since then, I've had exhibits all over Connecticut and throughout the country, and even overseas in China. And then I was commissioned to do a series of photographs over a period of years for Weir Farm National Historic Site. And in case a lot of people don't know, Weir Farm is actually Connecticut's first national historical park.
Can you believe that? Yeah. Right here in Connecticut. And how were you able to get hooked up with them? Through a friend, or had they seen your work? Yeah,
what happened was, after cancer, I was trying to find a way to develop a career in photography. I didn't really know where to go or how to do it. But what happened was I got an email from the AAA, and they were recommending Weir Farm as a great place to go to spend the day. And I had never heard of it before, so I went up to see it. And as I went on the tour, the ranger said that they have an artist-in-resident program, which I'd never heard of before. And they said they have applications. And so I decided I wanted to get an application, but I knew I didn't have the credentials. And I was so embarrassed to get the application and ask for one, I actually asked my wife to do it for me.
Oh, my goodness.
So she got the application, I filled it out. I didn't think I was going to get accepted, but I just thought it might be good practice in case, I get accepted one day. And to my surprise, many months later, they accepted me. I worked there for a month. I stayed at the park for a month in a historic cottage.
Oh, and that must have been so incredibly inspiring.
Yeah, I needed the time to be by myself, to really focus on what I wanted to do with photography. And so I photographed the grounds, I photographed the historic buildings. And then sometime later, the park called me and asked me about the pictures that I took. And I wasn't sure what they had in mind, but it turned out they wanted to use the photographs to promote the park. And so what we decided to do was to actually formally engage me to do some shoots on some areas that they wanted highlighted. At that time, it was not completely open to the public. The buildings were closed. They were still renovating them. So they had me photograph the interiors, which had never been seen before. But that kicked everything off. After that, Senator Joe Lieberman, he was a senator at the time who introduced the legislation to establish the park.
Oh, I love it.
I contacted him, and I said, I have these photographs. You might be interested in them. So in his final year in office, before he retired, he actually arranged for an exhibit in Washington, D.C. in his office, in his conference room, which gets a lot of activity.
But now, how cool is that for you?
Yeah, no, it was great.
Is that all a part of your book as well?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he actually contributed the foreword for my book. So that was just great. But that kicked everything off. From that, other parks started finding out about my work. They started engaging me to do something similar. And then I started venturing into other types of photography. I was still working in Manhattan at the time as a lawyer, just to put bread on the table. Can't make a lot of money as an artist. But I started photographing on the streets of New York City just to kind of stay sharp with my skills. And that's also going to end up being a book. It's going to come out October 27th of this year. Yeah,
you were telling me about that, and we're showing some of your work right now. And you have so much information. I'd love for you, I'm inviting you officially back, because there's more that I want to talk about with you. But I kind of want to go back, if you don't mind, and then I want to remind people about this book and how they can get it. You had cancer. You were a lawyer. Does that make your work better, do you think, now as a photographer, for appreciating your life more?
Oh, it certainly does on many levels. For one thing, when I was representing artists, they're a crazy lot for the most part. And sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot when they have an opportunity. They don't know how to maximize it or how to be organized, how to be wacky as an artist, but be professional in a corporate setting. So, I mean, I think I knew that naturally anyway, but having seen it happen with so many artists, it helped me to make sure that I do things in a different way than they did.
Now, this is the book. You can get it online. You can find him at Xiomaro.com, Xiomaro.com to get all it. In fact, we're putting it on the screen for you right now. There's absolutely no way we could fit his entire life into this one show. So you are coming back.
Yes, I am.
I am going to look at this book, and you're going to go online. You're going to get one. You're going to check it out. And plus, you can see all of his exhibits. I want you to stay with us when Hello Connecticut returns. We're granting doggy wishes. Thanks for being here, Xio.
Oh, thank you.